Hi everyone, good afternoon. Really quick one this afternoon and a really obvious one. This is just getting too easy. I'm taking you today to the famous White Cliffs of Dover, and the busiest ferry crossing it is, and the Channel Tunnel, etc. all come down here and go across to France. Millions of people use this every single year. Now the distance across from Dover to Calais is 18 nautical miles or 20.7 actual miles. On davidsenesac.com show you where we are, and he'll come down and do the calculations for us. On 20 miles the curvature should be 264 feet. Okay, the height of the White Cliffs of Dover are 350 feet up to, so the very highest point of these cliffs is 350 feet. On the other side, Calais is much lower, is a much lower elevation. The actual town look is only 20 feet above sea level, so the hills around it are only 100 or so feet up. Again, we're talking about this distance of a curvature, which should have rather a curvature of 264 feet, and these are a maximum of 350 feet, and this is much lower. Again, we're looking at 27 miles. If you just go and do a simple search on the White Cliffs of Dover from Calais, there are hundreds of these pictures and everyone can see them. And although some of these do seem to be at an elevation, you can quite clearly scroll down and see that you can see them from sea level, from the beach, from sea level, all over. And I'm just going to quickly show you the map again before I go to a couple of pictures I've taken, because I say this is really quick and it's really obvious. Boulogne-sur-Mer down here, once you're on the beach beyond the harbour, you're looking at a distance of 30 miles, and the curvature of 30 miles should be 595 feet. Okay, but I'll pop these down because I've saved a couple of pictures just so I can zoom them. To give you a view of where we are, this is Dover Castle's viewing point. The point of Dover Castle obviously is so they could keep an eye on the Frenchies, because, well, quite clearly we were at war with them on and off for hundreds of years when the castle was built. Okay, we've got good elevation here, so I'm not claiming that this proves anything at all, but I'm just giving you a quick view of the elevations and what we're looking at. Coming out from sea level, however, on the other side, there is no way that there should be any land visible at all there. And I'm going to take you into some pictures on a nice clear day, just so we can see what I'm talking about. You can find these yourselves. However, we're quite clearly here at sea level. This is, you know, the equivalent to a chap standing up and taking a picture. And they are the White Cliffs of Dover. No question about it. We can see all of the White Cliffs of Dover in these images. And there are thousands of these online. It's, you know, it's not a secret by any means. Here we are, look, just above the beach, 30, 50 feet up, looking across at the White Cliffs of Dover. And, whoa, not only are they there, but at these points, at 350 feet, these cliffs are only 170 feet here. This is less than 200 feet at its lowest point on these low parts here. Curvature, I'll just quickly pop you back to 264 feet at 20 miles. So none of this should be visible. None of this should be visible. We should only be able to see the very tops of the cliffs up here. And now, the reason I showed you from Boulogne-sur-Mer, I'm now going to offer, from my own money, I'm not going to say this at £10,000 reward because that would be ridiculous. I'm going to offer £250 in cash to anyone who can prove a curvature around the United Kingdom's coast. This image is taken from Boulogne-sur-Mer, which is 30 miles from the White Cliffs of Dover. And we can see we are at sea level, and we can quite clearly see that at 350 feet at the tallest point, coming down to 150 feet around these points, and we're now 30 miles away, 595 feet. The White Cliffs of Dover reach up to 350 feet. And if we just go back to the picture, we can quite clearly see that if there is 600 feet of curvature, and that's 350 feet, then the curvature of the Earth should be up here. From Boulogne-sur-Mer, looking at the White Cliffs of Dover. And this image utterly 100% proves there is no curvature of the Earth across the English Channel. And that's all I've got to say today. This is really obvious. This is a genuine offer of a £250 reward to anyone who can find the curvature, because as I showed us yesterday, there is no curvature from the Bristol Channel. You can see Port Talbot Power Station from North Somerset and North Devon, and you can also see the White Cliffs of Dover from Boulogne, and it should be under 600 feet of curvature. Good afternoon everyone. Please leave me some rude comments, as I'm sure you will. Thanks very much.